Hey there, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
Boy, howdy. I don't know this guy very well, but I love hanging with him. Look at him. And if you watch his video, I'm there with him. His Josh Bramlett. He is the lead singer of The Protest. Josh, how are you?
I'm doing so well. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Yeah, and we see, in fact, we see somebody behind you. I don't know if that's a family member or.
Hey, Jared, come over here real fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we love. Go ahead.
That's the guy on the motorcycle.
Oh,
Yes,
he's
he's our drummer and my business partner and my brother and my best friend.
Yeah, I was.
Drummers are always the cool one, by the way.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just telling Josh that I just watched the video this morning, and I have a sporty, 2009 sporty. So you guys had me when you started the bike. I was like, okay, we got to talk to these guys.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Well, it's good to meet you, man.
Yeah. Hey, listen, this is really cool. Now, Dan and I have been working at home now. We usually work in normal conditions downtown Atlanta. Have the studio.
But what's normal anymore, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
But we've been doing this for over a year now, which is really cool because we can talk to guys like you. You're there in Indianapolis. And we love the fact that kids kind of show up at times in interviews, cats, animals, band members. So you never know who's going to show up.
Construction workers, policemen.
Hey,
I mean, it's
absolutely.
like the YMCA all over again.
Yeah.
That's the spice of life, fellas.
Yeah. Josh Bramlett is lead singer of The Protest, and they've got a new single out. It's #1 radio single. It's called Greater. And I love you could take the Harley out. I'd still love the video because it's a really good tune. TheProtestRocks.com is a great place to go to. Josh and I were just talking about, and Dan and I were talking about 2020. And I asked him before we went live if they were isolated, doing any touring. And he said 2020, 30 shows is a lot from a lot of the folks that we've talked to, entertainers, bands, actors, comedians. 2020 was rough. You guys really were kind of blessed, weren't you?
Absolutely. We ended up like summer kind of opened up. I felt like things were going to be like, okay, here we go back to normal. And we all know how that went. But the summer we had a lot of good dates, and then we were actually able to tour for about 3 weeks with some bands on our label. And so the tour we did with the guys on the label, I think that worked out because a lot of the venues we played were churches, and a lot of the churches that had us, it was sort of up to them what they thought, you know what I mean, is safe and what's not safe. A lot of the venues and stuff, we had a hard time there because they have more, strict deals and stuff like that. So, yeah.
All right. So you got me curious there as you were showing off your guns there. I saw a cool tattoo. Looks like it's written in Hebrew. Tell me what you got on there.
Oh yeah. There it is.
Yes. Let's see, showing the guns again. Sun's out.
You gotta get real close to make them actually look big,
Yeah, man.
It's Hebrew for the Lord is peace. Since I was young, especially in high school, in college, and even now I struggle with it. I've always suffered from severe anxiety, which kind of led to some serious bouts of depression. Even while I was doing this ministry and doing hard rock music and stuff, I had some really, really hard times. And I was listening to one of my friends preach once, and he said, Yahweh Shalom, the Lord is peace. And something I've always looked for is peace. And that can only be found in Jesus, and that's something that, that's what I believe. And that's something I just kind of wanted a reminder of. I also have one on my arm that's got 1 Peter 4:10. It says everyone should, Jared, help me out. Yes. Everyone should use whatever gift they've been given to serve others and faithfully administer God's grace in its various forms. And that's kind of our band's motto.
That is awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Wow.
That is
absolutely
cool. Josh Bramlett, lead singer of The Protest. Josh, if it were up to me, everybody would have a sleeve, but it's not up to me. So that's just the way it goes. Let's talk about now. This is not your first project. I noticed on the Facebook. If you look in YouTube, if you're watching us or listening to us, there's some. In fact, there's an interview from 2018, which is a good interview, and then some of the other videos and stuff. But let's talk about the new one, Greater. Where did Greater come from? And maybe the whole project. Is this something you guys have wanted to put together for some time? How did it happen?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. So we have an EP coming out sometime soon, hopefully. But we wanted to kind of tie people over with a single, and Greater actually sort of came from the whole shutdown and everything. I don't want to give credit to the shutdown or to anything like that, but here's kind of what happened. When it was really bad, the day job I had pretty much shut down. There was not a whole lot I could do there. We couldn't tour. I wasn't making any money for my family, and I was a little stressed. So I got a job working somewhere that was hard. It was hard on me mentally. You know, I mean, I can handle physical labor. I like physical labor, but the mental strain of not touring, and this guy and I that ran the place, we ended up being good friends. And he's an amazing man, but at the beginning he just did not understand why I did what I did. He didn't understand why I played music. I mean, he would say, won't your wife leave you if you're on the road? I mean, how do you plan on making any money doing that? Like, it's, he just thought I was crazy. So we got the idea for the song just about why we do what we do. And it's not for the money. It's not for the fame. It's solely trying to reach people for Jesus. And I'm not saying I always have that etched into my mind. Trust me. I mean, I've struggled with that my whole life, making money, doing this, feeling like, man, I've been putting so much work into this and we don't have recognition like I thought and all this stuff. It's easy to get caught up in that. I still do. But we wrote the song as a reminder to us, to other bands and ministries and people who are serving to, that our rewards just don't lie here.
Now, as someone who has dealt with anxiety in the past, going through that time of losing the job that you were used to and having to find something else, I'm sure that probably caused a lot of anxiety, as it naturally would. What do you think God taught you through this time over the last year of just complete change in the world and you writing new songs and whatnot? What do you think God's taught you?
Oh, that's an awesome question, man. One thing about being in a band that I wouldn't trade for anything, especially a faith-based band, is the faith building aspect. I mean, just like you said, and it's not just for artists, but for everybody. Like, life throws a lot of curveballs at you. I didn't plan on losing my job or having to work somewhere like that. There's so many nights on the road where we don't plan on breaking down in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? There's so many times we don't, especially at the beginning, it's like, we're, like, how are we going to make it to the next show? How are we going to eat? You know what I mean? Right. There were so many times where we were like, wow. And I would get so stressed and so worried, but over the last 12 years, God has shown himself in every single situation, every time. And it doesn't mean that it's always a miraculous, wow, the bus is fixed from some angel-like stranger. Now, stuff like that happens constantly, and it just blows my mind. But God always teaches us something through that. And my faith is just built so much. A perfect example, we had a couple dates back in March. We were all the way out in the San Antonio area, and we broke down right after we left the festival. We had a show the next night in Arkansas. We had a long, long drive, and we broke down. Years ago, I would have been in panic mode. I mean, almost to the point where I'm sick to my stomach, but I don't know, just the faith that God has given me through all this has just really changed my mentality a lot. So I think that's been a big help.
Yeah. Awesome.
Awesome. Josh Bramlett, The Protest is the band. He's the lead singer. And if you'll watch the video, I'm sure that you can watch it on the website there. I found it on YouTube, theprotestrocks.com. As I mentioned earlier, I love the beginning. Of course, I love the music as well. But on the end, I thought it was hysterical that you pushed the bus. And I'm assuming that's your bus. That
It is.
You push it back into the scene. And it all makes sense now.
Yes. Well, when we made the video, we wanted to be real, and everything you see in that video is like, it's real. I mean, that's what bands, deal with. And I mean, like, it's funny, like that day, we needed the bus for the video shoot, but it was in the shop, and we could roll for about 12 minutes before we would have problems. So we're like, let's just get it there and we'll figure it out. So the old pushing the bus thing isn't too far off from what actually had to happen. And the tire being changed was an actual tire that we had to change. So yeah, it's definitely not a glamorous lifestyle, but we love what we do.
See, and I thought that all rock stars just jet set it everywhere, and they had just stuff given to them, and it was just a life of luxury. That's why I wanted to be a rock star.
I will tell you this: there are a lot of people, especially kids, that think, they see you on stage and stuff, and they think, "Wow, that's a rock star. He must have some money." And I just don't have the heart to tell them the hard truth, when people joke around and say, man, like, you're like some kind of rock star or something, I'll just say, I'm more of a rock guy. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say star. I would just say guy, because, I drive a 1999 Jeep Cherokee. That tells you anything. So.
And your bus is always broken down. So
absolutely. But I'm rich in love and all that kind of stuff. I'll take it.
Well, the good news is you're not driving a Vega, so that's a little consolation there.
Yeah.
Josh Bramlett, lead singer of The Protest. Josh, we would love to talk to you in the summer, catch up with you. And we want folks to watch the video. We want folks to get you to come to their town too, and see what you guys do. I love it. It's theprotestrocks.com is the place to go to. Hey, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.